You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Folks, over the last 2 years, black people living in Louisville, Kentucky, were the subjects of no-knock warrants more than anyone else. The Louisville Metro Police Department received court approval for at least 27 no-knock warrants from 2019 through 2020. 22 of those warrants were for African Americans. Jefferson County is home to more than 750,000 residents, with African Americans making up 22% of the population. Now, State Representative Attica Scott says policing has historically and continues to be racially disparate. Now, no-knock warrants were barred back in June after widespread protests took place over the death of Breonna Taylor. She, of course, was shot and killed in her apartment by officers who were executing a no-knock warrant earlier this year. Want to go to our panel. Actually, in a second, we'll talk about that. In a second, we're going to talk about that whole issue of those no-knock warrants. This is not just an issue in Louisville, but also we are seeing how the protests have changed things. In Virginia, Governor Ralph Northam has signed Breonna's law banning the use of no-knock warrants in the state. The governor was accompanied by attorney Ben Crump. Take a look at what Benjamin Crump had to say today.
You have to understand, far too often black women don't get the attention and recognition that others get, not even brothers get, when they are killed in this manner. And so Bianca, her aunt, God knows before Lanita and Sam and I got involved, was out there fighting every day to say that Breonna mattered, that Breonna was special. Her little sister and her mother, Tamika Palmer, they called to the Louisville Police Department every day asking for answers. Every day, her little sister Janiyah posted on social media that Breonna Taylor was my sister and she was special and that she mattered. But nobody was listening, Madam First Lady, and so I was calling everybody, and one of the people Alan told me to call was this young lady in Virginia who I'm told was the youngest person to be elected as a delegate, and that she can help make it important in Virginia. And so I'm so grateful that you took the call and that you said that Breonna Taylor matters in Virginia as well. And I think about the arguments, Dr. Underwood, that I heard happen where people said in Virginia, nobody had been killed by a no-knock warrant. And I love you and Senator Lott's passionate response. Why should we have to wait until we have a Breonna Taylor in Virginia before we pass responsible legislation to prevent a Breonna Taylor from happening in Virginia? And that was better than any lawyer could have argued. So I thank you all for being lawyers in the legislative halls.
So for the folks who whine and complain about defund the police, Julian, this is a part of the fight, the battle for police reform, and what we have learned in the past 10 years, really with the advent of Black Lives Matter, is that change happens not just in Washington, D.C., but you've got to make a change. You are not going to have a single law that then changes everything else.
And Ben Crump talked about the brother who said, we don't want to wait for something to happen. Something has already happened. Something has been happening for 400 years. If we go back and look at the number of people who have been killed it's massive. It's amazing. And so the issue of the no-knock warrant is nothing more than an extension of the police state to say that you could just bust into anybody's house anytime you want to for any reason that's real or specious. In the Breonna case, of course, we know they made a mistake. But we've had other cases where people had a digit changed and people's homes were busted into. So Ben Crump is my hero always, 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 because he just breaks it down. But the other breakdown is this. Let's not act like this is a 2020 issue. This is a 1619 issue. And that's the way I think we have to look at this.
Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.